Imagine spending your entire life believing your grandfather was your savior, only to discover he'd been stealing from your dead father, sabotaging your future, and lying straight to your face for years. And the best part? I didn't just expose him, I replaced him right in front of the entire board of directors. This is the story of how I took everything back. If you've ever dreamed of watching karma catch up to someone who thought they were untouchable, hit that like button, subscribe, and get comfortable. Because today, you're getting one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll ever hear. When I was a little kid, my father wasn't just a parent, he was a force of nature. He worked multiple jobs, pushed through law school, built 2 businesses from nothing, and still tucked us into bed every night like it was the most important job in the world. He was the kind of man who made you feel safe just by being in the room. But then came the diagnosis: stage 4 stomach cancer, the kind doctors don't sugarcoat. I still remember the hospital room, the steady beep of machines, tubes everywhere, the smell of antiseptic. My father, once so strong, lay there, barely able to move. But when he saw me, he smiled. A weak, flickering smile, but enough to let me know he still recognized his son. That was the last real memory I have of him. He fell into a coma shortly after and didn't come back. My mother and I were there when he finally slipped away. A housewife with no job, 3 kids, and no idea how to move forward. But then, my grandfather stepped in. Or so we thought. My grandfather was the embodiment of the "it's all about me" boomer. Everything had to revolve around him. When my dad died, he didn't grieve, he bragged. He used the obituary like a resume, parading my dad's achievements around like trophies. And when my mother struggled, he swooped in with an offer. "Let me manage your husband's businesses. I'll handle everything." We trusted him because we didn't know better, because we were grieving, because we needed help. Over the years, the 2 businesses barely gave us enough to survive. My mom took job after job just to keep us afloat. But my grandfather always made sure to remind us, "I am the one supporting your family." And for a long time, I believed him. He helped pay for schooling, so we thought. I worked hard, got scholarships, but my siblings, they weren't as lucky, especially my sister. My grandmother made sure everyone knew her opinion. Why become a doctor? You'll have kids and quit anyway. That was the level of respect women got from her. Eventually, my grandparents cut us off completely. My siblings were forced to consider giving up their dreams, and I thought things couldn't get worse. I was wrong. Years later, after becoming a high school teacher, one of my dad's old business partners contacted me. We were just catching up, laughing, reminiscing. Then I asked about the company. The man hesitated. His voice changed. "Look, I don't know how to tell you this, but your grandfather has been siphoning money, a lot of it." My heart dropped. "What do you mean, siphoning?" He explained everything. My grandfather, the man who made us feel indebted, the man who acted like our financial savior, had been taking our money. Money that belonged to my father's estate. Money meant for us. Money meant to secure our futures. He wasn't supporting us, he was giving us back pennies from the dollars he stole. But it got worse. He had taken over the company's office space, forced the business to relocate somewhere cheap, and rented the original space to competitors under his own name. He profited from every angle. Meanwhile, my family was drowning. I was furious. Not the loud kind of anger, not the explosive kind. This was the silent, throat-tightening, vision-blurring kind of rage. The kind that makes your hands shake. The kind that demands justice. Here's the thing my grandfather never understood. His power only existed because he used my father's name. Legally, my siblings, my mother, and I were the true owners of my father's shares. He was only a representative, a placeholder, a temporary seat warmer. So I got signatures from my siblings and mother stating that I was now the legal representative of my father's estate. And then I went to the board. the same board my grandfather had been manipulating for years. I met with them privately, calmly, confidently. My grandfather has no legal authority anymore, and as his entire role is based on representing my father, the position now belongs to me. The board looked shocked, then relieved, then furious on my behalf. They voted to remove him. Just like that. Years of power? Gone. But I wasn't done. My grandfather had one last source of pride, the office space he hijacked. So I contacted extended relatives and showed them proof of his dealings. They were disgusted. For Asian families, reputation is everything, and I had just lit a match under his entire self-image. He was forced to kick out the competitor he illegally rented to. His name became a whisper, a warning, a stain. He hated me. Good. Then came the board meeting, the one he expected to lead, the one he believed he still controlled. He walked into the conference room with his usual arrogant swagger, only to stop dead in his tracks. His chair, the chairman's chair, was facing away from the table. The board was already seated, silent, waiting. And then I spun the chair around, face to face with the man who had stolen years of our lives. He froze. His eyes widened, his mouth trembled. I stood up slowly. You're done. The company doesn't need you, and neither does our family. He stammered, desperate. Do you know what I've done for you? I put you all through school. I stepped closer. I didn't yell. I didn't shake. I simply said, no, Dad did. The silence in that room was electric. He broke. For the first time in my life, I saw him look defeated. I stepped down from the chairman role immediately after. I didn't want the title. I took a small job in the Treasury Department, not for money, but for justice. And one of my first board decisions? I hired my mother permanently, something she deserved years ago. My grandfather is now jobless, alone, miserable. My grandmother won't even sleep in the same room as him. And recently, we found out he siphoned their remaining money to a sugar baby. Even now, even after everything, he's still chasing validation and still losing. The look on his face when I said, no, Dad did. That look was worth more than any paycheck, any inheritance, any title. It wasn't just revenge. It was justice for my father, for my mother, for my siblings, for every year of manipulation and lies. He didn't just lose money or status, he lost the one thing he cared about most, his pride. Sometimes revenge isn't about destroying someone. Sometimes it's about restoring what was taken and letting the truth speak for itself. Because eventually, everyone becomes accountable to their own actions. If this story hit you in the heart or the rage, smash that like button. Tell me in the comments, what's the coldest revenge you've ever witnessed? And make sure to subscribe for more real stories of justice served hot. Until next time, take care of your loved ones and don't let anyone rewrite your legacy.